A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in this video, I'm going to give you some information on how to fight medical bills, medical debt that where they're trying to sue you. Now, any regular not debt collection, any regular credit repair company, they're going to be like all up in arms and happy, like Christmas came when the new rule came down that they can't even try to do anything for you for debts that are medical debts that are $500 and below. But what I'm about to reveal to you is that uh, if a debt collector violates this and an original creditor, the hospital, violate this rule, you won't have to pay the debt at all. Not that we want to try to run away from debts, but I'm pretty sure that they use laws against you, and you have a right to use laws against them if you find yourself in a situation. Now, if you are not in a situation, because businesses and people provide services to get paid, I think that you should pay them or you should work out a deal to pay them. But if you find yourself in a situation where a debt collector has purchased the debt, now we're not talking about dealing with this specific thing with debt collector, with an original creditor who has provided the services for you, because I believe medical is one of the most important things that is provided. You can work out some settlements with them. It's been widely known, that they upcharge the services big time if you're going to them individually rather than through insurance. But let's talk about it real quick. If you have a debt collector who has purchased your debt and it's a medical debt and they're trying to come after you for the money, there are some things that you need to be aware of that are your rights. And I'm going to show them here. It's easy to look up. You would have to craft it the right way. I'm not going to reveal that specific information because people pay our company to do that. But I'm going to show you what you can use. Now, the first one here is the privacy rule. Health providers cannot disclose your medical history without your written consent. Now, most everybody knows that. They know the HIPAA rule, which I'll show you this. Well, it shows it right here. So the HIPAA, all medical providers must remain compliant with the HIPAA Act. And within that act, there is something that's called individual identifiable health information. And if it's transmitted, look at this, covered by any entities or business associates or any form of media, whether electronic, paper, or oral, you have a right to not have your medical information disclosed. To take that a step further, they cannot disclose a specific identifiable procedure that you had. I have right here in my hands one that when I reviewed it and a debt collector purchases that they have 7 identifiable, uh, individually identifiable health information violations right here on this document that they not only disclosed uh, in a court filing that's made public to anyone who wants to go on there. They made it, they shared it between an individual, which is a law firm that was hired to work for this collection agency, because this collection agency is not in the area uh, where this individual is being sued. So they've broken it, number one, by pushing out electronic information to the attorney, and and they put that on paper, which was this right here. So you have to be aware that your information cannot be shared that way. Now let's go to something else that you can use to deal with the medical provider. Now, remember what I said earlier. I'm not about running away from paying the medical provider for giving you service. They could have saved your life or something. But something that you do need to be aware of is what's called NSA, which is No Surprise Act. That means that they cannot give you a bill and say, hey, surprise, this is the amount on the bill. And this goes for group health plans, group or individual health insurance coverage. It bans surprise bills from emergency services or from out of network providers or facilities without prior information. This now you may be saying, well, out of network and in network and all that. One of the things that I found out that can happen within a hospital is that an individual that is could be contracted with the hospital, and you could have a procedure that's being done on you by your regular doctor, and then you can have someone from an outside service that's contracted with the hospital that is not within the network of your insurance also try to bill through your insurance, and your insurance says, no, we're not going to pay that because they're not in network. But you didn't know that. You didn't know that, while you were laying on the table or when they were doing uh, blood samples or whatever, that they were also going to send this to an outside agency. They can't do that. That actually happened with my wife, where uh, her doctor saw her. They took uh, 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 blood work, and then for some reason, for one specific item that they were going to test with her, they ended up sending that to a lab where someone that was affiliated with the hospital, but it was not within our network. We immediately challenged that, and they took that bill off of there. And I think it was somewhere around $800 for that test. They cannot surprise you with that. So this is something that went into effect in 2022, but it actually had, some of the stuff was retroactive, and it was retroactive to, it says here in 2020. It was signed in 2020, but it went into effective 2022. But I've seen it be retroactive to bills that were medical bills that were probably around 2019 and 2020, that I've seen those work for. So if you're being sued in court, or if you have a debt collector coming after you that is not, they could be connected with the medical provider. Some of the times they don't sell them, but especially if it's sold, I would use this strategy to get that medical debt. Actually, it wouldn't even fall under a cancellation of debt, because when they violate the HIPAA Act, uh, it takes into a whole nother category where you won't even have to pay the debt, because you could actually turn around and sue them. So I guess as for them just saying, hey, you don't owe it, write some type of a letter stating that, and then you might have to agree that you're not going to sue them for disclosing your medical condition, which is something that they do. If you're dealing with the original creditor, which would be the hospital, the medical provider, or the doctor, then it could put you into a better position to settle that debt, because they are not supposed to disclose that information. They have to abide by the HIPAA Act, and they cannot share your medical history with anyone. And by showing procedures, which is on this document right here. They're showing the actual procedures that this individual had, and they're sharing it on a public document. They just cannot do that. So I wanted to get that information out to you. That is very important. And then I'm going to be making another video in a minute that's going to talk about some stuff that I'm seeing going down with people getting these loans and stuff. All right, if you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my two-phase settlement process. Link is below this video. Um, if you need your credit reports and scores, because that's where everything starts, you can go to the website yournumber3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian credit reports. If you have debt collectors coming after you, uh, you can grab my 3-pack of letters: cease and desist, collection activities letter, statute of limitations letter, and debt validation letter. And if it is a medical issue, you can actually type in the information that I just shared with you here. If you have a medical debt collector coming after you and they disclose your information. And when I'm just to clarify what I mean by disclosing identifiable, individually identifiable health information, which is showing where they're transmitting information that will show what actual procedures you had done to you. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of the CreditRepairShop.com. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video and post your questions and comments. I'll be in there this weekend answering those.